Welcome to my class of cyber security. Today we will learn about telnet and the secure socket shell. These are the different protocols that we need to learn. Terminal network or telnet. It is a client server protocol based on character oriented data exchange over TCP connection. Telnet enables remote control of computer via text based input and output. For this reason, a client server connection is established as a default via the TCP protocol and port 23, where the remote control device acts as a server and waits for the command. It is a standard TCP/IP protocol that runs at application layer of a network. Telnet protocol provides a standardized interface through which a program at a program on one host, the telnet client, which is called telnet client, may access the resource of another host called the telnet server, as though the client were a local terminal connected to the server. It is a protocol for remote login. The telnet client uses an ephemeral port number, while server uses port number 23 of TCP. One of the main reasons for developing the remote protocol was that computer systems at that time were still really expensive and not easily accessible for everyone. Another reason was their extreme size, which meant that they were bound to specific location. In order to make computer resource available at universities and companies, Unix was developed at the end of 1960s as a suitable operating system and Telnet as an appropriate protocol service. How does Telnet work? The working of telnet. A user is logged into the local system and invokes a telnet program that is called telnet client by typing the address. The telnet client is started on the local machine. That client establishes a TCP connection with the telnet server on the destination system. Once the connection has been established, the client program accepts keystrokes from the user and relays them, generally one character at a time, to the telnet server. This is the working of telnet. In general, a telnet server is implemented as a master server with some number of slave servers. The master server listens for service requests from client. When it hears one, it spawns a slave server to handle that specific request, while the master goes back to listening for more requests. Telnet allows user to connect and log on to any other host in network from their computer by using login credential, that is by giving username and password. Telnet uses TCP protocol for connections. Telnet service is available on port 23 of the host machine. Telnet client acts as terminal which accepts any keystroke from keyboard, interpret them and display output on screen. Client on the computer makes TCP connection to port 23 of the host machine where Telnet server answers. Telnet server interacts with applications in the host machine and assists in terminal emulation process. After the connection is established, both ends of Telnet connection are assumed to be originated or terminated at NVT, Network Virtual Terminal. The NVT is network wide terminal and it is host dependent. Hence, both the server and client in the connection may not require to keep any information about each other's terminal's characteristic, as both of them sees each other as NVT terminal. It is used to run command line program, shell command, scripts, batch file over Telnet connection. The biggest difficulty is the heterogeneity of the terminal and operating system that must be supported. All do not use the same control of character for the same purposes. To accommodate this heterogeneity, Network Virtual Terminal (NVT) was introduced. Any user telnetting into remote site is deemed to be on NVT regardless of the actual terminal type being used. This is the diagram of NVT, Network Virtual Terminal, where host A and host B are communicating. That is represented as negotiations. This is host A and this is host B. Both of them are communicating with the help of network virtual terminal, and Telnet protocol is being used for both the machine. Host A is also using Telnet protocol. Host B is using Telnet protocol under TCP IP. Then operating system is their underlying operating system. First of all, let us discuss some of the advantages of Telnet. Then we will discuss the disadvantages. Some of the advantages of Telnet are: it can be used to send or receive information. It helps in administration of the network element. It supports user authentication. All the Telnet client and servers implement a network virtual terminal (NVT). Automation test facilities are used by remote computers on shared basis. This saves cost by limiting costly test equipments facilities at selected location for all the users across the world. What are the disadvantages of Telnet? We cannot run GUI tools over a Telnet connection. As we know, it is not possible to run GUI based tool as it is character based communication. It is not possible to transfer cursor movement and other GUI information. It is not designed to transmit cursor movement. Because of this, we can only run line programs, shell command, script and batch file over a Telnet connection. It is not a secure protocol. It is very inefficient protocol. It is expensive due to slow typing speeds. Each keystroke requires several context switches before it reaches the other end. User ID and password are transmitted without any encryption. This leads to security risk in Telnet protocol, as eavesdropping and snooping are easier to implement by intruders or attackers. Now we start with SSH, Secure Shell. SSH is typically used to log into a remote machine and execute commands, but also supports tunneling, forwarding TCP ports, and X11 connection. It can transfer file using the SSH file protocol or secure copy protocol. SSH uses the client server model. Now let us see some of the features as shown in the slide. It is a protocol, not a product. Secure Shell is a protocol, it is not a product. Software based approach to network security. Encrypts the data sent between the computers. Client server architecture. SSH follow client server architecture. SSH comes with all Linux distribution, Mac OS X, AIX, Sun Solaris, OpenBSD and other Unix variants. Ported to other operating systems such as Windows, Palm OS, Amiga, etc. Other clients such as SCP, SFTP, etc. are also available. Replacement for Telnet is RLogin, RSH, RCP, FTP, etc. Actually, SSH is a cryptographic network protocol for operating network services securely over an unsecured network. Typical application include remote command line, login and remote command execution. But any network service can be secured with SSH. It provides a secure channel over an unsecured network by using a client server architecture. These are the SSH layer: application layer, transport layer, internet layer, network access layer. Network access layer, there is Ethernet. In internet layer, internet protocol is used. In transport layer, TCP is used. In application layer, SSH connection is done. Session multiplexing, X11 and port forwarding, remote command execution, SOCKS proxy, etc. SSH user authentication. User authentication using public key, password, host base, etc. SSH transport, initial key exchange and server authentication, setup encryption. This is all about SSH layer. Actually, SSH was designed as a replacement for Telnet and for unsecure remote shell protocol such as Berkeley RSH and related RLogin and REXEC protocol. Those protocols send information, notably password, in plain text, rendering them susceptible to interception and disclosure using packet analysis. The encryption used by SSH is intended to provide confidentiality and integrity of data over an unsecured network. Now we will learn about SSH features. What are the features of SSH? Strong encryption, then strong authentication, authorization, integrity communication, forwarding or tunneling. These are some of the features of SSH. SSH is a protocol that can be used for many applications across many platforms, including most Unix variant as well as Microsoft Windows. Some of the application may require features that are only available or compatible with specific SSH client or server. For example, using the SSH protocol to implement VPN is possible, but presently only the open SSH server and client information. For login to a shell on remote host, replacing Telnet and rlogin, SSH is used. SSH will protect against, or we can say the advantages or strong points of SSH: eavesdropping of data transmitted over the network, manipulation of data at intermediate elements in the network, example routers, IP address spoofing, where an address host pretend to be a trusted host by sending packet with the source address of the trusted host. DNS spoofing of trusted host names, that is IP address, also IP source routing. SSH will not protect against incorrect configuration or usage. A compromised root account, if you log in from a host to a server and an attacker has control of routes on either side, he or she can listen to the session by reading from the sudo terminal device. Each through SSH is encrypted on the network. SSH must communicate in clear text with the terminal device. Insecure home directories. If an attacker can modify files in your home directory via NFS, he may be able to fool SSH. Thank you for watching.